Hello my dear students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will continue with our previous video that was on pilot plant scale up, and in continuation of previous video, today we will discuss about the pilot plant scale up of solid dosage forms. In the previous lecture, we will discuss about the pilot plant scale-up techniques and their importance also. Now, in case of solid dosage form, it is really very important. For example, in case of tablets, the pilot plant scale-up technique should be implemented before planning of any large scale of manufacturing of any type of solid dosage forms. A pilot plant scale-up technique for solid dosage form will provide guideline for the manufacturing of large-scale process, and this will play a very pivotal role in large-scale manufacturing. The parameters just like granulation, feed rate, compression parameters, temperature, and rate of drying will have a very critical role in the development of any solid dosage form. Our pilot plant are intended for learning. They typically are more flexible, possible at the expense of economy. Some plants are built in laboratories using stock lab equipment, and from the last 2 decades, particularly have witnessed amazing inventions and innovation in the pharmaceutical research, resulting in the ability to produce new drugs faster than even before. So it is really very important to make a pilot plant scale up department in a pharmaceutical industry. Now we will start with this thing. The primary responsibility of a pilot plant staff is to ensure that newly formulated tablets developed by product development personnel will prove to be efficiently, economically, and consistently reproducible on a production scale. This is a very important thing. And the design and construction of pharmaceutical pilot plant for tablet development should incorporate features necessary to facilitate maintenance and cleanliness. If possible, it should be located on the ground floor to expedite the delivery and shipment of supplies. And at each stage are considered carefully from experimental lab batch size to be intermediate and large scale production. And the same process, same equipment, but different performance when amount of material increased significantly. And it also involves a major process changes that utilizes techniques and equipments that were either unavailable or unsuitable on the lab scale. As you seen in this slide, there is a layout of pilot plant for the solid dosage forms, and it plays a really very important role in the tablet manufacturing. If we talk about the various steps during the manufacturing of tablets, according to all steps, there should be a planning of layout of solid dosage forms. Obviously, in this we should have firstly a receiving area. In this we receive all the required material, and after receiving area there should be a receiving quarantine area. In this we particularly quarantine all the material related to production of any solid dosage forms. After this, there should be a approved raw material section, and after approval of raw material section, there should be a department just like a dispensary for dispensing all the raw materials. After that, there is a steps, mixing, granulation and drying section. After mixing, granulation and dry section, there is an area that is called tablet punching section. In this, the tablet going to be punched according to the requirement. And after punching section, there is a coating section. Coating section is really very important, and it should be very much separated with the tablet punching section. Then there is a need of quality control section. With the quality control section, there is a simultaneous quarantine area for the in-process quarantine section. Then there is a approved final products after punching and all, and then the packaging section will be there. After packaging section, there is a shipping of the solid dosage forms. So these are the really very important sections which help in the development of pilot plant scale up of solid dosage forms. Obviously, we can say in case of manufacturing of a tablet, there is a complex multi-stage process whereby formulation scientists ensure that correct amount of drug substance in the right form is delivered at the appropriate time and the proper rate and in the desired location with its chemical integrity protected to that point. And most drug substances do not possess the required property which gives satisfactory flow from the hopper to the dye cavity of the tablet press. So as a result, they are subjected to pre-treatment either alone or in combination with some suitable excipients to form free flowing granules that lend themselves to tableting. And we already know tablets are commonly manufactured by wet granulation, dry granulation or direct compression. And these methods may be considered to consist of a series of steps, and these are called unit processes, just like weighing, milling, mixing, granulation, drying, compaction, coating and packaging. So according to each steps, there is a need of requirement of design of any pilot plant area. Now we already know there is a various stages by which we can manufacture the tablets, and these are basically first and most important is the material handling. Material handling, these are it is just a simply scooped or poured by the hands in the laboratory, but in intermediate or large scale operations, handling of this material often become very necessary. Any material handling system must deliver the accurate amount of ingredient to the destination. And in case of after that, there is a drying, blending, then granulation, drying off, reduction of particle size, blending, direct compaction and slugging, which is also called drying granulation. In case of material handling, the more sophisticated method of handling material are vacuum loading system, metering pumps, screw feed systems. These are the very much important systems which helps in handling the large scale of raw materials. And these type of systems are elected depend upon the nature of the material, for example the density and the static charges. Then there is a dry blending also. In case of drying blending at this stage, there could be a result in discrete portion of the batch being either low in potency, and steps should be taken to ensure that all the ingredients are free from lumps and agglomerates. So this is really very this is the starting of your manufacturing of tablets, and it determine the final it determine the quality of a final product. If we talk about the dry blending, it is used as a binary. In this we use cohesive powder mixture which contain two different sizes. It is well known that finer particles will adhere preferentially on the surface of coarse particles, and this type mixture has been called as a interactive mixtures. And the blending of fine and coarse particle break down the agglomerates of fine and coarse powders and produces an electric charge by contact and collision between the particles. The blending will be optimized by the following parameters. For example, time of blending, blender loading and size of blender. And according to blending methods, there are in the industry there are a lot of blenders which are available. For example, V blender, double cone blender, ribbon blender, slant cone blender, bin blender. There are the lot of blenders which help in the blending of a raw materials. And this is the technique which is I have already discussed with you. And these are the few examples of the blender. In this picture you can say there is a V cone blender, there is a slant cone blender, bin blender, ribbon blender and double cone blender. According to the requirement, they are selected for the blending of a raw materials. Then there is a granulation. This is really very nice, important part of the tablet manufacturing. It is defined as basically a process whereby small particles are gathered into large permanent masses in which the original particle can still be identified. The most common reason for the granulating are to impart good flow properties to the material, to increase the apparent density of the powder, to change the particle size distribution and uniform dispersion of the active ingredients. So this is really very important, and we can say there are the two methods, for example dry methods and the wet methods. And in case of wet method, which utilize some form of liquid to bind the primary particles. In this we can use a sigma blade mixture and the heavy duty planetary mixtures. More recently, the use of malfunctional processes that are capable of performing all functions required to prepare a finished granulation, such as dry blending, wet granulation, drying, sizing and lubrication in a continuous process in a single equipment. All the process going to be occur in a single equipment. Then here comes the after granulation, there is a drying which is involved for the drying of the granulating material. Drying basically it is a compaction technique. Like roller compaction is commonly used in the pharmaceutical industry, and there are number of drug substances which are moisture sensitive and cannot be directly compressed. The most common conventional method of drying a granulation continues to be circulating hot air oven, which is heated by either steam or electricity. And the important factor is to be considered as a part of scale up of any oven drying operation are airflow, air temperature and the depth of granulation on the trays. If the granulation bed is too deep or too dense, the drying process will be inefficient, and if soluble dyes are involved, the migration of dye to the surface of the granules can be takes place. Drying times at specified temperature and airflow rates must be established for each product and for each particular oven load. In case of fluidized bed dryers, they are the attractive alternative to the circulating hot air ovens. Basically, in case of fluidized bed granulators, the process is occurred by inlet air temperature, and there is also atomization air pressure also, and it is really very much controlled with the liquid spray rate also. And the important factor considered as a part of scale up fluidized bed dryer are optimum loads, rate of airflow, inlet air temperature and humidity. Drying times at specified temperature and airflow rates must be established for each product and for each particular oven load. And in case of scale-up consideration, the airflow, air temperature and the depth of granulation on the tray, they makes a really important parameter for the selection of drying instruments. Then there is a reduction of particle size. Basically, a compression factor that may be affected by the particle size distribution are flowability, compressibility, uniformity of tablet weight, content uniformity, tablet hardness and the tablet color uniformity. First step in this process is the basically to determine the particle size distribution of a granulation using a series of stacked sieves of decreasing mesh opening. And the particle size reduction of any dried granulation production size can be carried out by passing all the material through an oscillating granulator or a hammer mill, a mechanical sieving device, or in some cases a screening device also. As a part of scale up of milling or sieving operation, the lubricants and glidant which in laboratory are used added directly to the final blend and are usually added to the dried granulation during the sizing operations. So it is really very a critical step, and particle size reduction of a dried granulation of a production size batch can be carried out by passing all the material through a various type of size reduction instruments. Then the next is come the blending. It is the type of blending equipment often differs from that using in the laboratory scale. In any blending operation, both segregation and the mixing occur simultaneously are a function of particle size, shape, hardness and density of a dynamic of mixing action. Particle abrasion is more likely to occur when high shear mixture with spiral screws or blades are used. When allowed dose active ingredient is to be blended, it may be sandwiched between two portions of the directly compressible excipients to avoid loss to the surface of the blender. Then next step is the slugging. It is called also a dry granulation. It is really final step, and it is used according to the type of raw materials. A dry powder blend that cannot be directly compressed because of poor flow or compression properties, then we can use the dry granulation method, and this is done on tablet press designed for slugging, which operates a pressure of about approximately 5 tons compared with the normal tablet press which operates at a pressure of 4 tons or less. And the slug range in diameter from 1 inch for the more easily slugged material. If an excessive amount of fine powder is generated during the milling operation, the material must be screened and fines recycled through the slugging operations. Then the next is dry compaction. Granulation by drying compaction can also be achieved by passing powder between two rollers that compact the material at pressure of up to 10 ton per linear inch. And the material of very low density require roller compaction to achieve a bulk density sufficient to allow encapsulation or compression. One of the best example of this process is the densification of aluminum hydroxide. In this operation, the pilot plant personnel should determine whether the final drug blend or the active ingredient could be more efficiently processed in this manner than by the conventional processing in order to produce a granulation with the required tableting or encapsulation properties. Then the next, here comes the compression. After direct compaction, there is a compression. In case of direct compaction, the scale-up consideration will be the component of blender, mixing speed, mixing time, and mixing action. These are the scale-up consideration which will be taken during the scale-up method. In case of compression, the ultimate test of tablet formulation and granulation process is whether the granulation can be compressed on a high speed tablet press or in a low speed tablet press. This is really an important thing. When evaluating the compression characteristics of a particular formulation, prolonged trial run at press speed equal to that to be used in normal production should be tried. Only then are potential problems such as taking off punch surface, tablet hardness, capping and weight variation detected. High speed tablet compression depends on the ability of press to interact with the granulation. The following parameters are optimized during pilot plant techniques of granulation. Feed rate. Delivery system should not change the particle size distribution. System should not segregate of coarse and fine particles, nor it should induce static charges. The filling of empty die cavity with the granulation, pre-compression of granulation, and the compression of granules, and after that the ejection of tablet from the die cavity and takeoff of compressed tablets. These are the basic functions which will be used in case of tablet press. The control factors while selecting the speed of press are granulation feed rate. Delivery system should not change the particle size distribution also, and the system should not cause segregation of coarse and fine particle, and nor it should not indicate the static charges also. So this is really very important thing. The machine should use a high speed rotatory machine, multi-rotatory machine also, and double rotatory machine also, upper punch and lower punch machines, and single rotatory machine according to the requirement and how much of the production rate will be there. According to this, the type of machines punching press will be selected. So we can conclude that the pilot scale-up techniques is one of the important tool for the optimization of large-scale production, and the parameters such as granulation feed, rate compression, presence of lubricants, and blending will play a very important role in the development of solid dosage forms. Thanks for listening. This part of the video going to be cover the pilot plant scale up of solid dosage form, for example in case of tablets, and the further other part of this topic will be discussed in the next video. Thanks for watching my video, and the remaining part will be covered in my next video. So stay connected with me. Have a good day.